In this video, I'm going to talk about Howard Stern, who in my opinion is one of the best communicators of all time. And here's why. He really seems to care about his guests. So for those who don't know Howard Stern, he's had a radio and interview show for almost 30 years. And every time I've seen an interview with him, he really listens, he asks questions, and he seems to care about who he's speaking with.
Were you ever embarrassed
Yes.
by your parents and
Yes.
by because I would think, and I know you probably feel guilty about this now to say it, but you do, right? Because you don't when you're a kid and you don't fit in and your parents don't speak English, it's a tremendous shame, right?
Horrible. Your name is funny. I mean, nowadays, I think the way that I look, people are like, oh, she just looks, she's brown hair.
So in that clip with Howard and Mila Kunis, Howard put himself in her shoes and showed relevance. He showed that, hey, I understand where you're coming from. He talked about her parents. He talked about the awkward situation that she was in. And then she was really able to open up and answer because what did he do? He put himself in her shoes.
It's one of those kismet moments that you can't explain.
So wait, let me get this straight. So you take some acting classes. I don't know how long this goes. And then you said, hey, I'm going to go out on an audition. Your mom takes you to the audition?
No. So here's what happened. This story gets weirder.
So in that clip, Howard inquires even more. You heard what he said. Let me get that straight. He wants to get the story straight. What he's doing there is he's further showing his interest. He wants to know. And the thing about Howard is you can tell he genuinely cares about his guests. And that's why people open up to him.
My dad worked full time the entire...
Would you have blamed your parents if they had taken some money from you and said, hey, look, we invested in your acting classes and stuff? I mean, it's really noble of them that they were broke and they didn't say to you, look, you're making some money here.
Or even try to better the family situation.
I know.
You had
That's
sort
right,
of a
that's right.
hefty bank account at that point.
I did.
Yeah.
I would never have blamed them. I've never been able to pay for dinner.
That clip shows how Howard will ask questions that normal interviewers won't ask. He goes above and beyond. He asks questions that push the boundary, and that was a really good example. So just to summarize, I think Howard is an amazing communicator for all the things I just talked about, but especially because he really does show that he's interested in his guests. He's not afraid to be vulnerable. He's honest, he's authentic, and he's an amazing listener and asks great questions. Howard Stern, one of the best communicators of all time, in my opinion.